G'day everyone, T-Nick back here again in Transport Fever on the River Delta map. You join me just outside of Rothenfels, where Train 1 is departing with a full load of cattle and he's leaving some behind. Which, God, I hope it's not summer out there, because that would be really unpleasant for those poor cows. Also, how do you fit a whole cow in a box that big? Are we secretly transporting chickens that look like cows? Or are we transporting mini cows? You know, like pocket-sized cows. Collect them all. No, I don't know. But either way, he has just dropped off his first load of food, which missed that truck there. But it's okay, because it's going to go out on this truck here. Unfortunately, it's only 8 food, but, you know, that's okay, because you're only bringing in 1 cow. So, good effort all round. But you get to take 6 food into town, and that will be our first food delivery to Rothenfels. I let the game run forward a couple of years just so we could sort of, you know, get in a better position. I did extend the loan by about 500 grand to buy more trucks for this route, because once we got it up and going, I thought 4 is going to be hopelessly inadequate. I was right. And as you'll see, last year, despite spending 63 grand on new trucks, we actually turned a profit of 20 grand. Now, that's not bad. You know, considering our train was running pretty much empty in both directions, the trucks up at Ochsenhausen were just running empty in both directions because they had nothing to do. I think we did pretty good. In fact, I really kind of want to extend this train out to be bigger, because we're now starting to get a backlog of cattle that it can't handle. So I'm wondering if it wouldn't be viable. We'll just price it out. We'll see where we end up. You know, to whack on an extra couple of wagons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's where we stand now. Seeing as it's all flat, why don't we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 120 metres a train. It's going to cost $2 million, but this is pretty much a new train, so let's just price it out. 620 grand. Cheaper than a second train, but yeah, might have to just sort of sit aside from that right now, because it wouldn't really increase profit that much, and you know, we really want to eke out as much as we can from each train. So instead, what I would like to do is set up our passenger route from Ochsenhausen to Rothenfels, or move over to the stone and grain production. Initially, we'll send the grain over here to produce food. We won't worry about plastic, but one of those is our next stop. I mean, we've got the bank loan to do it, because as we saw last time, we can go up to about 20 or 30 million. I think it was 30 million. So if we bring grain in here, well, sorry, pick grain up here and take it up here to the food processing plant and send the train back empty, that's a good starting point. But then we can work on extending the line out here, or even just start with trucks initially until it gets going, and then bring the stone down to Rothenfels, to the food processing, not the food processing, we're taking the grain to the food processing, to the construction materials plant, which apparently does not know how to use capitals there and there. So we'll just turn this to Brickworks, because that looks much nicer. So yes, the first thing we want to do, because we've already got our truck route set up, is we want to start shipping grain down on those trucks as well. Now, they're probably going to try and transport cattle down, which is going to be frustrating. I didn't think of that when I put the station down here and not up here, is that unless we refit the trucks to carry grain, which means they can't transport the stone up here, they're just going to keep defaulting to picking up the cattle. So that's a bit of a concern. Maybe we don't start with that. Maybe we start with passengers and we cross that bridge when we come to it. You know, if we had a dedicated hopper truck available, I'd build that. But all the vehicles we have are entirely multi-purpose. And I don't think I can refit vehicles on the fly. I think it's I think it happens automatically. Yeah, see, I don't have an option here to say, hey, when you get to the branch, which incidentally we should rename to Rothenfels Freight Terminal. There we go. You know, you can't say refit to stone and then take it up here, but then refit to grain and come back up here. So, yes, it'll require 2 separate truck routes, and that is just money we don't have. Admittedly, we don't have any money at all at the moment, because we're pissing it away on running costs. But once our cattle train makes a payoff up there, we'll be sitting in a much better position. So, we were pricing out a passenger station last time, and yeah, we're going with a dead-end one. We'll go 200 metres as a default, and we might as well start off with 2 tracks. That's 140 grand. compared to, yeah, 100. So it's only 40 grand, and that way we sort of future-proof it in case we want to expand this area and we worry about the future of the station. So, get it for 130. Can we get it for 130? We can. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got a passenger station in. Is it roughly level with the freight track? Probably not. That'd be too bloody simple, wouldn't it? So if we drag it up like this, it becomes level, and it's not completely janky, apart from this sort of rogue nipple of ground that comes out here. That's right, I described it as a nipple. Okay, well that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Well, no, that definitely didn't go the way I wanted it to. No, why is this track floating? I don't want this track to be floating. And there's another rogue nipple. Okay, yeah, okay, well, don't look too closely at that bit of track then, folks, because it's not pretty. So we want to double track. Oh, do we want to double track on the right or the left side? I thought we agreed we'd double track on the other side. Yeah, because we're going to have trouble. Oh, hang on. No, actually, we probably want to double track on this side because we can just go around that stanchiony thing. Yeah, we didn't really think this through when we built the station. Oh, well, we'll double track on this side when we do double track, but for now we're just going to be building passing lanes. We can't even afford 6 grand worth of track. Yep, it's come to this. Okay, well, let's just, whoops-a-daisy, extend the loan a bit. That's what I said in the bank interview, by the way. I went in, sat down next to the bank manager. I said, hey, whoops-a-daisy, need more money. And somehow they approved it. I don't know why. Too much curvature? There's never too much curvature. Real tracks have curves. That's not too bad with the landscape there. This bit here is fine. It's just here where it starts to get a bit floaty. Maybe when we have more money, we can rebuild it out on a bit more of an angle. And I say later, but I'm going to do it now because things need to be pretty. Otherwise, I'm not happy. So instead, why don't we snap a bit of track in here? That's our goal. And then we sort of split off like that. Is that going to be a bit better? A bit less floaty? Yep, quite happy with that. That's much less floaty. Congratulations. And then we'll put the second track in like this. Obviously, I'm putting 2 platforms in here because one line will go to Stralsund and one will go to Halver. If we go to Kalita, I'm going to put another platform in. How hard would that be, by the way? Just FYI. Put it on the right, please. Yes, good. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward unless the town expands out here, which it's probably very likely to do now that it knows there's a passenger station there. But again, cross that bridge when we come to it. And look at that, someone's paid off and given us a bit of money in the bank. So where are we when they... Yeah, won't bother paying the loan down yet because we'll just have to extend it. But I'd say that's Freddie the food train who's now leaving with... what's that? That's probably 2/3 of a load of food. And, oh, look at that profit graph. Of course, we are going to mess with the profit graph by introducing a passenger train onto this line. But that's why we're going to have sort of extensive double trackage going on to sort of enable that to happen. So we'll aim for some 60k points here. Yeah, that'll do. And of course, we'll put a passing loop in here at the start, just so we can make sure that the trains aren't sort of getting too held up at the start of the run. Inevitably, they will have to pass somewhere, and I don't want to commit to double tracking the entire line, not just yet anyway. So this bit here seems fairly cheap to double track, and we'll just bodge it back in on this side here. Again, 60k setup points there, please. So let's go ahead and drop down a signal there. We'll obviously need a signal at the other end. Probably about there. That should be fine. And then for these trains coming out of the sidings and the station, we'll put signals in there so they're not... Because, I mean, the freight train will have to sit down here until he gets a clear path up onto this track. So if we do that, that should be fine. And he knows exactly what the score is. He's already using his new second track, which is great. So this is going to be a difficult section to whack a passing loop in. Along here, what would it call? Let's see, there's a lot of landscaping to be done there. So this will probably be the single track the longest. We don't really want to put it in on this section because, well, we've just finished double tracking there. So maybe we double track under the bridge because we've got the landscape. And plus that gets it out of the way early. So if we put this in here, we can probably get it a bit closer to the bridge. That's a bit too close. Ideally, we want to keep it level with this existing track. So why don't we start off here and then start off here. Okay. And now we just want to get it around like this, keeping it flat. Yeah, it's pretty flat. Okay, so what if we put it like, no, just not there. Okay, cool. And then we bring this around like that. 85, 70 Ks now. Okay, not great. I'd like to sort of future-proof this a bit better. Oh, that's a lot of landscaping again with the landscaping. Okay, so we bring this in here. What if we bring it out like this? 70. Okay, well, that's exactly what we had before, but we built it in a different direction, so it feels different, better, and more exciting. So the landscaping wants to start about here, so we'll go ahead and whack a set of points in here, I reckon. 50 is probably the best we're going to do in that space, so that'll have to be fine. I mean, that's what the freight train's limited to anyway, so it's not really a big deal. And can we get 50 in here? We can. Good. Okay, we'll have to make do with 50. 50 will be fine, and we'll whack in a couple of signals. We need one going the other way too, doofus. There you go. And obviously we need a signal at the end of the loop here. Excellent. Fantastic. Oh, and one going this way. And I think I forgot to put a signal down the other end. Yes. The placing of these signals here just helps to make sure that the train in this loop here doesn't have to wait until this other train gets out of this loop before it can proceed. And as long as you have two signals facing away from each other like that, trains won't face each other. If you were to put two signals in the middle here, you could run into one sitting at a signal going this way and one going this way, and then you'd run into problems. So that's something we're keen to avoid. So we've got a passing loop in there, and that should be all we need. Now we've got to figure out how we're going to bridge across the river to get to Ochsenhausen and where we're going to be building our station, because, you know, these are all very important concerns that we have. Now, we're going to need to branch up to Halver. So I'm thinking if we put it over here, we can come down the river and go this way, and we can also go down the river this way to Stralsund, and also if we need to head up the pass here until, well, to get towards Kalida. I don't know if we'll ever build a railway line from Ochsenhausen to Kalida, but at least we'll have the option if we put the station in sort of at the top end of town. Actually, can we... I'm wondering if we put the station in here, can we tunnel under the town and come out here to cross over? That's an idea. How much does that cost to remove? 500 bucks. I can afford that. No, we don't want that station. No, we want the flexible one. Okay, so we're going to drop this in like this. Okay. We're going to try and drop it in here so we can do the aforementioned tunneling under the town. Again, won't be cheap, but might just be useful. Yes, okay, so that in itself, very expensive. We're going to get rid of this road here and bodgy it around a bit, so it goes that way. There we go. So the town can develop this bit only for me to knock stuff down later. Well, hang on, we won't need a bus stop. Well, we'll need a bus stop, but we won't need a bus interchange because we can just run this road around like that for our feeder services. But yes, I'm hoping against hope, that we can put a bit of track in here and tunnel under the town. Of course, that'd be too bloody easy. Oh, there we go. Okay, we can tunnel under the town, and it only costs a small fortune as opposed to a large fortune. So that's good. So keep it on the downhill, on the down low. Yeah, okay, so what I want to do is I want to keep it from going into the tunnel until right at where the houses are, just to minimize that tunneling, so we've got room here for landscaping. Now, if I keep it flat, yes, build, it'll make it easier to put a junction in here. We'll need to borrow a bit of cash here to keep the magic going. Now, will you tunnel if I keep it flat? 7 buildings will be removed. That says to me no. Oh, hang on, it's still flat. Okay, so hang on, drop it. No, it doesn't want to tunnel. What if we... Okay, we've steep downhill. Okay. Bring it back a bit so it dives into the tunnel. We want to go as low as we can, forcing it into the tunnel without having too long a steep downhill section. So that should be fine. 114 grand. Okay. I realize we're sinking a lot of money into this passenger train, you know, one episode after I said we're going to be really reasonably austere about this, but, well, you know, it's better than bulldozing a big chunk of town. Okay, we can even go back up again if we really want to. Okay, so how far will that want to tunnel? Well, that wants to tunnel a fair way. That's $1 million worth of tunnel. What if we rise it up? Okay. Oh, here we go. We've got some bridge action forming here, and we're also going way too high, so that's fine. But we've shortened the tunnel. That's the kicker, is shortening the tunnel. Okay, so bring it back. Bring it back to about, say, here. Is that a straight line? That's a straight line. Okay. This is good. Yeah. So keep it on the uphill. Nice and cheap. 370 grand. Let's just sit on that. Okay, now, that in itself, completely useless. We've just got a tunnel that goes nowhere. which sounds like something you'd build in Sydney. Now that looks like something you'd build in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Well, that is sort of where we're going, but not quite. But congratulations for, initiative. Okay, so we want to keep it in a straight line. And now we want to flatten it out. No, that's not going to do anything. We want to downhill. Here we go. Downhill. This is good. This is good. So, minimum of landscaping, please. That's probably the minimalist. The most minimum landscaping we're going to get away with. Now, we want a bridge. Okay, show me a bridge that's not a lot of money. To about there, maybe. Okay, so we can't get ships underneath. That's disappointing. What if we push M? Still can't get ships underneath. Still can't. Okay, we can, but now it's got a really ugly hump in it, so bosh to that idea. In fact, what if we lower it down? Is that getting cheaper? Oh, it is. Oh, hello. Oh, hi. Oh, I love your work. No, back up a bit. We don't want it to look too cheap. Okay, now, how are we going to get this to connect up with this track? I don't know, but I like my bridge to be nice and straight. And I also want it to be a bit higher than that. Okay. So that's a nice start. Good start. Maybe we back this off, sort of away from the significant landscaping portion of the evening, and we bring this down a bit. No, then we're coming across at more of a right angle to the existing track. Because I want to keep the bridge short. I want to keep it short, cheap, and cheerful, if such a thing can exist. Maybe we flatten you out a bit. Okay, that's too flattened. We bring you down like this. Okay, so you're starting to bridge there. Okay, cool. So bring you back so you're more of a landscapey type situation. Straighten. Yeah, no, that's too straight. Okay, so what I'm thinking, we do this. We come across the existing track and then hook around down the hill. It's probably going to cost more money, but it'll help keep the speed a bit higher. Yes, I'm going to save money in this game. Literally one episode later, I'm going to build a needlessly expensive helixy bridge thingy. Okay, so you nice and straight, good. Okay, now keep it flat. Are you going to go over the top of this? You're not. You're going to be a bit of a dick. Okay, now you're not. What have I done? I pushed pig up. That was a mistake. Okay, bring it back. Okay. You've still got a weird little wibble in you here. I don't care for the wibble. I don't like the wibble. Unwibble. Okay, well that didn't really unwibble anything. That just moved it up a bit. But at least we can get ships underneath. That's sort of what I'm aiming for, just in case we do want to do some shipping on this route. So that's 500 grand. For a much better bridge, it's 737 grand. What about a medium bridge? 593. I can live with that. I can live with 593. I mean, it's only, what, 200 grand cheaper than the most expensive bridge, but it's a nice viaduct, and I like a nice viaduct. We are going to have to delete this track and lower it a smidge, though, if we're going to get over the top. What if we pig up a little bit? Just hold the shift key down to minimize your up pigging. That's made it 620 odd grand, but it does clear the top of the existing railway line with room for other tracks. So I'm not mad about that. I'm actually quite happy with that. I think that's a nice looking bridge. We can fit ships underneath. We've got plenty of room there, as long as they don't wang into this supporting pillar thingy. And then we'll just have to curve it around using the existing landscape to come down here and meet up with the track we've got there. We can't hit the tick yet because we've got to extend the loan. Oh God, 1.2 million in the hole this year. We're doing well. So, you know, that 20 grand last year profit, that's just been completely schmozzled. So let's try and keep the speed to about 60. Well, you want to go up. No, I don't much care for going up. We sort of want to follow the land down a bit. That's better. We will eventually come back and rebuild this section when we have a lot of money, I imagine. So now you, my friend, are going to want to come down here following the landscape. That's better. 120 is a much better speed to be aiming for. And you want to come down. Can you fix this? There we go. 120 here. That's good. Good. Excellent. Fantastic. And obviously we've come down on the wrong side for the double track, but that's okay because there'll be a big ass junction here in the long run anyway. And so we'll just run you across at about 60 k's an hour, I guess. Just keep it nice and cheap because we're going to rebuild it eventually. He says, saying, you know, he's just built the world's most expensive bloody bridge. Now I'm glad we minimised the amount of bridging on this route. And even at the cost of that bridge, I still think it's going to look better than having a second passenger line weaving its way down there. So I'm quite happy with what we've built, even if it wasn't the most sensible option financially. Meanwhile, the bank manager is cracking his knuckles. Incidentally, why don't we just double track this short ass section here? Because, well, we may as well. It's a short ass section to double track. In fact, we might get rid of this kinky curve here. So hit the pause button just so you don't mess with anything that's already existing. Like him, who's literally right there. And then just see what we can get for this. Okay, that's not too bad. Bit of landscaping there, but it's only about 60 grand, and it will speed things up a minute amount. I've probably backed that off more than I needed to. So that's 64 grand. Yeah, I can live with that. And that there is only 25 grand. There we go. So that's fine. Good. Pleased with that. Now, of course, he can't get from that track, or he doesn't want to, so that's fine. It's the getting back that he needs to worry about. So we're going to go ahead and whack in a set of points here. Yeah, stick to 60 again. That's a reasonable speed to do. And we'll whack in another set here for 60. Yes, yes, yes. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And of course, then the obligatory signals that we demolished and have to replace. Give this chap a signal. And then we'll put another one down here adjacent to this signal just to keep it even. Yes, toot toot, my friend. Good for you. So, we just blew a lot of money. How much was that? 2.5 million. Cool. That was really well done. How did we spend $1.85 million on road? Road tracks. What? What? I did not spend 1.85 million on road tracks. Oh, road? No, that's railroad. Oh, road, I see. Tracks, yes, tracks. Yeah, I read that as road, but that's a total of this area here. Apparently we spent nothing on stations. What the bloody hell is that then? Oh, that's a railroad station. I am significantly confused. Well, let's just move on. Let's not even question what other is. But, okay, so we have our station down here. Admittedly, only one track plugged in at the moment, but we've got plenty of room to plug the second track in. Once we get on this side, obviously the second track will try and come down the inside, but we'll be rebuilding this to swing it around a bit wider once we've got the coin. But that's fine. We've got our basics set up. Now we've got to go ahead and set up a bus route over here, otherwise there's literally no point in having the passenger station this far out of town. So, show me a bus stop. And in that regard, I want a bus interchange. In that regard, really? Is that what you... Okay. We want to keep it nice and close to the station. Can we put it here at minimal cost? 35 grand. What if we put it over here and make them cross the road? 20 grand. Yeah, I can live with that. I mean, it will interfere with the trucks a little bit. Nice round number. There we go, 20 grand. But I think we can deal. Now, can we upgrade this street here? Unable to align terrain. You've broken my heart. Why is that? I really want to make this nice and terrainy. Which is why we're going to hit pause, and we're going to delete this. And okay, well, we can't delete that bit. That's on the town. And now, of course, construction is not possible. So I may have buggered everything up. Well done, me. What if we run? No, okay, cool. Well, let's just put this back and see if we can do that. No, you still can't. You can't even do that. Okay. What have I done? Well, I can put that in. That's fine. What about this? No, you really got your heart set on not building any of that. Okay, you'll build this, which is, I guess, a small improvement, but I really want a medium street. Medium street, not an option. Well, seeing as I know what I'm doing, I guess, let's just pretend that was all intentional. And we'll, I guess, have to come back later and fix this whole catastrophe. We'll probably have to bulldoze this intersection here to get that to work a bit better, but... Yeah, can we upgrade that to medium now that we've built it? No, of course not. That'd be too easy. Well, we've got a footpath now. That's kind of what I wanted, just so people can walk across. I imagine they can walk down there because it's not like they're going to fall in the water or anything. But yeah, that's what I wanted. It just cost a lot of money. Now, we're going to set up a city circle that starts here. So we're going to need some sort of bus stop, possibly a bus stop. So let's go ahead and whack one in here. We'll put one on the other side just in case I forget. Now, that's just not working for anyone, so we'll delete that and then connect you up like that. That's a bit better. And whack a bus stop in up here. That'll do. That's good. It's good coverage. So we got one there, one there. We'll need one over here. That's fine. Are you going to catch these buildings up here? You are. So that should be fine. Just 1, 2, 3. We can always add more later. We'll go ahead and whack in, we may as well whack in both city circles now, just to save doing it later. So starting here, we want to come up here, that's ugly, around like this and down like this, and that will be Rothenfels City Circle clockwise-ish. I kind of want to put a bus stop in here just to make it go a better way than it is, because it's going to interfere with the trucks. Also, what's going on here? We've got a weird little wide bit of road. That's odd. Yeah, I'm going to put a truck bus stop in there just because I can. So swing by there first. That's much more attractive. There you go. Now, obviously, we want to do the other one. So you start off there and go via Bachstrasse and Fasenenweg, and then Jahnstrasse, and then Friedhofstrasse. I'm pretty sure Strasse is street, so, you know, it all makes perfect sense. So highlight that, and we go Rothenfels City Circle, AC, done. Good. Now we'll just buy a couple of buses. We'll probably go the Landauer, because, you know, as we established in the last game, it's the Land Roarer, because it's like a lion bus. Rawr. So we'll go with 2 of them for AC and 2 for CW. Excellent. Good. Off you go, fellas. Make us proud by doing bus things. You know, get out there and roar. And don't hold our trucks up because they're carrying us. Well, not that one particularly. He's just dropped off livestock. Or he never dropped off any food either. So, you know, maybe not those two. They're bad examples. But the rest of the trucks are doing a bang-up job. So they'll start moving people around the town. They might not want to come up here just yet because there's no train, but, you know, we're a little bit low on cash at the moment. So I'd rather get the buses set up just while our bank balance percolates a little. So again, over here, we want to do the same thing. This time we don't need the bus interchange because, well, the station's a bit more conveniently placed. So we'll go ahead and whack in the bus stops there. We'll probably whack one in here. Let's see, we'll probably want to come down this street here because we'll get catchment up this way. This street doesn't actually go anywhere yet, and I don't have the money to knock that building down. So what I'm going to do is just do a little cheaty... No, we can't even afford that. Okay, congratulations, we've extended the loan. Just do a little cheaty street there until the game decides to finish building, because it will demolish the house itself for free. Well, for free for me anyway. So we'll put another bus stop in there. Wow, this is a big town. Now, can we connect these streets up over the top of our tunnel without sort of manking up the tunnel? I think we can get away with it. Yeah, it was really easy. As long as no one decides to build a house here, we should be fine. So, of course, we'll need a bus stop along this street somewhere. I'm inclined to put 2 in. Sort of one here to catch this whole region, and then one up here to sort of capture this region as it expands. And then we'll obviously put one in the center of town for the people that want to come from the station down straight to the center of town. And eventually this will probably be a really good tram route because it is well, it's a wonky circle, but it's a proper circle, unlike the other one where it just dead ends. So we'll go with 2 more lines there. And let's have a look. Let's see, you want to go there, to there to get into town. Then you want to come up here. Yep, autosave doing its thing. Wow, that's a name that's been mentioned. Down here to Danger Street, I like that. And then to Erlenweg, cool. Okay, cool. So that is Ochsenhausen. Yes, look at me typing out German like a natural. City circle, city circle, and that is going in a clockwise direction, assuming my clock looks the same as your clock. And then obviously you want to go the opposite way, so Erlenweg to Danger Street, to Mittel Street, to Raffi Street, to Ahornweg, which is a thing, to Rosenweg. So, you know, those are names that have been used. And that is Ochsenhausen City Circle AC. Fantastic. Loving it. Great. Can we actually afford any buses? We can, because we extended the loan. Wunderbar. So we'll put 2 on AC, and then we'll put 2 on CW. This one will probably need to be expanded before any of the other ones because it's just a really big town. 319. Yeah, don't tell me my passenger transport is poor. Oh, poor you. So 319 versus, 145. So I reckon we'll be able to draw on a rich amount of passengers from Ochsenhausen to send to Rothenfels and Stralsund. I don't know if people will want to go from Stralsund to Rothenfels initially just because of the journey time, but, you know, there's shopping in both, so maybe we can just get people going back and forth here. That's something we could do. So now that we've got those guys set up, we're going to need to buy another train. Now, the depot, we can just use this existing depot, but obviously he can't come down here first stop. So, you know, we can sort of just figure it out. So you want to go from Rothenfels, which we'll have to rename, to Ochsenhausen. So we're going to go ahead and give them better names. So we'll call out station. I know it's original, but, you know, we're going to live with it. Can we rename you? No, we can just zoom over to you, though. Close enough. You're a station as well. And now you, my friend, we're going to rename to Ochsenhausen Station Interchange. That's a long name. Try saying that 10 times fast. No, I'm not going to do it. I don't care how entertaining it is. And then up here, we're going to give this one the same treatment. Yeah, hold here, right. Station Interchange. That way we can figure out what everything is a little bit easier. So, we need to go buy a train. This is the best part. We haven't named the line yet, Dingus. Name the line. Okay, so the line, we will call this... Well, it follows a river, so we can call it the river line, like in the last game, but then again, that line will follow a river too. So, you know, that's probably a bad idea. Why don't we just call it the Rothenfels line for now? And, you know, completely unoriginal name, but we can do better later. Okay, so let's talk buying trains. And, of course, it's going to have to follow the freight train, so this is going well. Now, we've got access to the Borsig, which only has a top speed of 45 km an hour. So the freight train's actually technically faster than it, even if the box cars aren't, because they're limited to 80. Okay. What are you? You're 50 km an hour. Yeah. Okay. So that's more of a freight engine though. 50 km an hour, not great for a passenger train. Now what are you? 64 grand a year. So this is a Prussian engine with a very long description. 184 grand a year. Whoa. I just don't think we'll be moving enough people initially to justify that. This is another Prussian engine for 226. God, that's even more expensive. And what about the Austrian numbers? 322, 322. Okay. And the Atlantic, that's American. What about the 35? 412. Okay, so we really can't shake a stick at any of those. Oh, we forgot the PLM. What are you? 181 a year. Okay, I'm not hating this one. I mean, it's a bit slow. It's 60 km an hour compared to the Prussian, which is 100 or 90. But it's cheap. Cheap to run. Oh, hang on. 184, 181. Okay. So suddenly this Prussian's looking a better deal. It's only 10 grand more expensive, and it costs 3 grand a year more to run. So if we're going to lose money, at least we're going to lose money a tiny bit faster. And by that I mean top speed as well as increased cost. See? It's a funny. I made a funny. 1.1 million. Okay. What about passenger cars? That's got a top speed of 60 km an hour. That's not very useful. Oh, here we go. What about this thing? 100 km an hour. Oh, sold. So, okay. This is going to cost. We need 1.1 million for the engine. And how much are these? These are 500 grand each. Struth. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, I guess. Let's just even it out to 10 million. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to make it happen. This train will probably lose money and completely undermine the rest of the business plan, but I really want to do it because we've built the line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we can't afford a fifth one anyway, so good thing I did extend the loan up to the 10 million. So you, my friend, are going out on the Rothenfels line, and of course we have to ceremonially watch the departure from the depot and then watch the door slam on the back carriage, because that's just how things go. That is a very attractive engine. You go, Prussia. Not sure about the poo brown colouring though, but the red is very dynamic, and it's getting away from us again, and I do like passenger cars. Gorgeous, gorgeous train. Okay. Turning, following. I think we're going too fast. I think the train's getting away from us. Or we're getting away from the train. Someone's getting away from someone. Yes, I do like that train, though. That is a very attractive train. Yes, good. Okay, you are going to run empty up to Ochsenhausen, I'm assuming. Yes, Ochsenhausen. Here. And hopefully by the time you get here, our buses, of which we can probably put a couple more on just because of the size of the town. That's a truck. So put on another couple of Land Roarers on the AC and the CW. Hopefully they will have fed some passengers in here. Now, why you would want to leave this town to go shopping in a smaller town, I don't know. But maybe we're delivering more food to Rothenfels than we are to Ochsenhausen. So maybe people will want to go. Maybe they'll work in the industrial areas. I don't know. But God, I really hope someone needs to use the train to get from one town to another. Otherwise, we are going to have just pissed away a whole lot of money on nothing. Speaking of money, how is our cattle train doing? You, my friend, should be running at capacity in this direction. You're doing well. I really do want to upgrade you because what's that? Not enough money. Well, that's helpful, isn't it? What's that price at? To be 710. Yeah, see, it is getting up there as this train gets older because it's worth more money to sell. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a punt and do it because the more cattle we're moving, the more money we're making. And we're going to need to prop up this passenger train. I mean, it's not like we don't have the cattle to move. So, you know, this passenger train probably wasn't the smartest thing we've done. But it just looks so nice sitting at this red signal doing nothing. Good for you. Congratulations, my friend. Look, the crew are like, why is this signal red? We should just go. No, we'll go into the buffer stop and crash. Are they clones? Hang on, just hang on. No, don't move. I'm trying to figure out if you've cloned yourselves. Okay, we'll follow it. I can't zoom in enough. Okay, I can't look in through the front window. Okay, well, I'm sure they're not clones. I'm sure it's just a legitimate hiring practice that saw us hire two brothers who look very similar. We probably should fix this at some point. We can probably straighten it out and put 2 tracks in there. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Get it? Because the bridge. That was another bridge we had to rebuild that literally serves no purpose. Good for us. There's not much food waiting for them. I imagine most of the food is being delivered to Ochsenhausen via these trucks here, which is not a bad thing because it means we'll start getting passengers wanting to come up from Rothenfels. I mean, we've already got someone waiting at this bus stop here, which is good. They appear to be invisible. Hello? Hello? There is someone here, apparently. One passenger. He's trying to go to Friedhofstrasse. Okay, so he's just moving around the town. Well, I shouldn't say he. It could be a she. But is that you? Yes, yes. Okay, I don't know why you're not waiting under the shelter. You must be wearing a lot of sunscreen because otherwise you're going to get very sunburned. Look, the bus is here and he's going to go sailing past because you're not at the bus stop. No, well, maybe he's not because you've teleported yourself onto the bus, so congratulations. I say bus, it's more of a taxi, really. And look at it. Look, there he is. Hello. So he's going to the shop, which is just down here in town. So he's shopping locally, which is good for him because he's catching the bus instead of walking. So, you know, I'm quite happy with that because he is giving us money we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. However, can I just slyly say that the goods are available in Ochsenhausen much, much better than the ones in Rothenfels. You know, so maybe you want to catch the bus to the end of the line and jump on the train, maybe give us a bit more money. You know, you're gonna travel by train. Just out of interest, what's the cost of this line? Where's that? That's here somewhere. Ticket price per kilometre, 1.67 thousand. Yeah, so maybe you wanna pay us $1.67,000, which is what, $1,670. That is a really expensive ticket price. Or is that $1.67 per kilometre? But then it'd be per kilometre. I'm confused. Maximum waiting time, what's that mean? I don't actually know. I've never really fiddled with that. Let's just leave it at 3 minutes. Let's just not touch it because that's just going to end in tears. But yes, I think that's going to do us for today. Am I going to regret not going over to the stone quarry and building the passenger line instead? I think probably. I think it's going to cost us a lot of money. You know, like to the tune of negative $4.3 million. But, you know, just leave it with me. I'm going to let the game run for another few months, maybe another year or so. And, yeah, we'll pick this up again soon. Oh, here we go. Here's a shot. Here's a shot. Look at this. Look at this. Where's the... Oh, the cattle train's all the way back there. Okay, well, that didn't work out anywhere near as well as I thought it would. Also, we've created a rift in the space-time continuum here, so we probably shouldn't look at that or there. How structurally sound is this bridge? I can see through it. Oh, we might be able to see the train coming through the bridge. Oh, well, that's just made it worse, hasn't it? Okay, well, there it is. Look, I can see it. I can even click on it. 2 things of food. Man, I'm glad I spent all that money upgrading you. You are going to be a profit-making machine eventually, but, you know, you need to transport more than 2 tons of food. So, you know... Oh, we have a passenger waiting for the train. Well, that's a good way to finish things off today. We're going to watch him come out of the tunnel. Here we are. Here's the tunnel. Here he comes. Here he comes. Woo! Look at him go. Ooh, he's hooning. He's doing the good 90 Ks now. He's fighting the good fight. And then he's going to come down to the station. And he's going to pick up 1 person. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. That is how we're going to finish today. So I've been T-Nick. This has been Transport Fever on the River Delta map. I would like to thank you for your company. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you have enjoyed the episode. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, where we piss away more money on completely unnecessary passenger trains way too early in the save. Thanks for watching. Later days.